We're live. Okay, it's
I just
5:30.
heard them putting it in a meeting.
This meeting of the Victor Valley Union High School District will come to order. Do we have, Barbara Dew is here, Kenny Emerson is here, Josh Garcia is not here, Mr. Barrios is here, and I am here. So we have 4 members present, Mr. Garcia is absent. Do we have any community comments?
We do not.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to go to closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Get me this.
Yeah.
You did?
The adjournment goes in quicker.
Okay.
And before you say anything, Dave Burleson, I want to thank you very much for getting my computer back on. Thank you very much.
Okay, this meeting of the Victor Valley Union High School District will come to order at 6:45 p.m. In closed session, the Board of Education took action to approve a suspension agreement with employee number 3431. The vote was 4-0 with one member absent. Members present are Dew, Edmiston, Barrios, and Castaneda. Absent, members absent, Garcia. Okay, so we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. And Dr. Yee, would you like to lead us?
Absolutely. All right, ready, everyone? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
And we'll vote. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have a public hearing for the sunshine proposals for Victor Valley Union High School District sunshine proposals for the 22-23 reopeners with the Victor Valley Teachers Association. So we'll open the public hearing at 6:47 p.m. Do we have any public comments for the hearing? Okay, we can close it at 6:47. All right, item 4.2, the approval of VVUHSD 22-23 sunshine proposals with VVTA. Do I need a motion, or do we just? We need a motion to,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, item 4.3, the Victor Valley Teachers Association sunshine proposal reopeners for 22-23 with our district. This is a hearing, right?
Here.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a public hearing. We'll open it at 6:48. And are there any public comments? Okay, we'll close it at 6:48. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so we're going to move to public comments. We are very fortunate today. We're going to have some students who are going to tell us what's going on in their schools. So you're all from the ASB, right? Correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start with Hazel. She's going to report on Victor Valley High School.
Good evening. My name is Hazel Dominguez. I'm the Executive ASB Vice President. Since our last visit, we had many exciting new things happen on our campus. Homecoming week was the last week of September and included our newly constructed floats, our first blood drive of the year, and our homecoming dance, which boosted the highest rate of attendance in over 10 years. We also had the opportunity to meet with the classes of 1960 to 1962 for the reunion brunch held the same weekend. Looking forward to the next few months, we are moving towards the end of fall sports. Senior nights for all these teams are happening in the next 2 weeks following break. We started a Rowdy Rabbits crew, a student section to attend all home games, and boy have we had fun. Our final games are themed a pink out game, which is this Friday, and a luau game for our senior night is on October 27th. We have a new event this year we would like to invite each of you to. We are holding our first annual Day of the Dead dance on Tuesday, November 1st, 7 to 10 p.m. This new event comes at the end of our celebrations for Hispanic Heritage Month, and we hope that you'll all be able to join us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hazel.
And those are tickets. Those are your guys.
Tickets for the Dia de
Tickets
los
for the-
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, Honey Brown from Silverado.
Good evening, parents, staff, and students. My name is Honey Brown. I am the ASB Senior Class Vice President and will be representing Silverado High School in all its goodness tonight. As a proud Hawk, I enjoy being able to brag about such an amazing school that I wish people heard more good things of. Before reporting any good news about our school, I would like to first thank the district for hearing the students of Silverado out and giving us better nutritional options. The students really appreciated that. We would also like to thank all of you guys for helping out step by keeping our campuses safer. Beginning in September, the entire buildup of the month was due to our annual homecoming week, which included a spirit week, a pep rally held on Monday to get the rest of the week hyped up, our lunchtime events hosted by Active Entertainment, our homecoming football game, including the ASB classes doing their floats, the announcement of homecoming queen and king, and a performance from cheerleading, and our actual homecoming dance that next night on Saturday evening. Our new system in place that includes the ticketed events contract helps make students feel like they earned the event of homecoming and other events, and encourage other students to get their grades up and start actually going to class. I believe the system is very effective to any and all students. A week after, we held our Burn the Bunny tradition, where all students came together after school and held a bonfire with food trucks, music, and this year we even had a 2000s theme where mostly every student participated, which made things more fun and special. Currently this month, I am very proud to say that our new Wellness Week has gone very well. Wellness Week is something I believe every campus should have because it helps students feel like they're cared for and gives the opportunities to give back to their community or encourage them. We held a blood drive, a bathroom beautification where we put inspirational quotes on the stalls to prevent graffiti and also encourage our students, and a wall filled of students' goals. This is an effective way of getting students engaged and inspired in their campus. We strive to make sure our students are getting the love and support that they need. And I, as a student myself, hope that every school can soon recognize how important students' mental health is and how it should be prioritized to allow students to feel more comfortable at school. Thank you.
Hey, oh, excuse me, honey? That sounds funny calling a student honey, but, honey, do you know the date on your blood drive?
It was
Miss Conkle, you can just send it to me, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Michael Huerta Gutierrez from Adelanto.
Good evening. This past month, we have had many excellent events. First, we had our homecoming game, in which before the homecoming dance, we had the homecoming court announced during halftime, and our football team played their hearts out. At the homecoming dance, students were able to dance the night away, and were able to enjoy the sweets at the dessert bar. We had a staff appreciation football game. On this Friday, the football team went around campus and delivered their jerseys to their favorite teachers. And the staff were appreciated at the football game. Our AP studio art class went on a field trip to the Getty Museum. At this field trip, they were able to look at the beautiful lush gardens and the marvelous pieces of art. We also had our back to school night to celebrate the announcement of the 2022 to 2023 school year. The Adelanto High School hosted an inviting event that welcomed the families of all of our students. We also had our fall sports prep rally, in which we recognize our fall sports and also the various clubs at our school. We have a weekly social media post called the Saint Spotlight, in which we highlight excellent events going on at our school, and we also spotlight a certain staff member every week. Our class of 2023 also hosted our first annual El Baile, which was a dance to commemorate the Hispanic Heritage Month and consisted solely of Spanish music. We also had our senior night for volleyball. On this day, we celebrated the seniors that play on our girls' volleyball team. Our Adelanto High School Ola Club also hosted a Hispanic Heritage Spirit Week, in which students were able to dress in cultural attire. Our Heritage Club also hosted a FAFSA night, in which students were able to come in and get information on how to apply to colleges and to fill out the FAFSA. We also had our blood drive on Friday, October 7th, in which students and faculty members were able to give blood to aid in our national blood shortage. We're having our senior night tomorrow night, in which we celebrate our football, cheer, color guard, and band seniors. We're also going against Silverado to compete for league champions. We are having our second annual trick or treat on the 28th of October, in which we provide a safe environment for kids to come in costumes and trick or treat. We also have the guidance of counseling department. Each and every day, our counseling department displays their efforts to their patient guidance of students, whether it be assisting a student enrolling in dual enrollment classes or discussing scholarship opportunities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Helen Frias from Lakeview.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Helen Frias. I am the ASB president at Lakeview Leadership Academy. And this week was our Homecoming Spirit Week. And on Wednesday, we wear pink in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we passed out pink bracelets, little pink ribbons, and like pink ribbon stickers too, to the students, to anybody who wanted one. Tomorrow is our Homecoming Pep Rally. And our homecoming is this Saturday, October 22nd from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. We have report card night on October 26th from 5:30 to 7, and that's where students and parents can pick up their report cards and can meet with their teachers to discuss their grade. ASB also has some stuff planned for next week for Red Ribbon Week and Anti-Bully Week. At our last meeting, ASB approved the vending machines, just waiting on the district to sign off on it. On October 28th, junior high is having their fall bash from 4:30 to 6:30. And that's it.
Thank you, Helen. And from, last but not least, from Hook, we have Victor Jorge and Kiara Henry.
Good evening, Victor Valley Union High School board and staff members.
I am Kiara Henry, a 7th grade student,
And my name is Victor Jorge, an 8th grade student.
and we are both students attending Hook Junior High.
In the months of September and October, we have had many events on our campus. We previously had mentioned our movie night we had planned where we watched Minions: The Rise of Gru. The movie was a great success where we had 200 people attend this event. It was great for the families and everyone had a fun time watching.
The week after our movie night, we went to Disneyland for their Disney Imagination Campus for leadership and innovation. It was a great team building experience and we all had a great time. Also, for suicide awareness, we gave out ribbons in all of the advisory classes and did take and give notes at lunch to spread suicide prevention.
We have had 2 sports starts. Those sports are wrestling and volleyball. Our wrestling team has had some amazing games this season. We have won 4 of the 7 games we have had, and we made it to the finals at Serrano High School. Our volleyball team hasn't had any games so far, but will have their first game on the 24th at Hesperia Junior. We hope to have the rest of our teams flourish with wins.
Next week will be our Red Ribbon Week. We will have a door decorating contest to spread around drug prevention. We will also have a Spirit Day where you wear pink or red in honor of our Ribbon Week and also for breast cancer awareness.
Tomorrow we will have one of our biggest dances of the year, and it is our Halloween dance. We have 220 tickets sold for this event, and it will be fun for all of our students attending.
We are looking forward to having tons of amazing events this school year and for you guys to have not a great, but an amazing rest of your day.
Well, sadly, our students have come to a conclusion, so no more students will be presenting. But isn't it great to hear from our students, and hear all the wonderful things that are happening on
Best
campus?
turnout in a while, huh?
Okay, so, Mr. Coles, would you read the disclaimer for the public comments?
If you wish to address the board on any topic, including any item on the agenda, please submit your comments to the board president by completing a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and submitting it to the assistant to the superintendent. The president will recognize those who desire to speak, either during the public comment section of the agenda or before the particular agenda item. Each speaker should move quickly to the microphone and announce your name and before beginning your presentation. Meetings are taped for later transcription. Each speaker is allocated a maximum of 3 minutes. The president may choose to limit each topic to 10, no more than 20 minutes. If substantial number of people wish to address the board on one topic, testimony should be brief and to the point. Speakers should not repeat testimony already presented. Board action may not legally be taken on any item not specifically listed on the agenda. The board may ask that such items be placed on the next agenda for consideration. Testimony is not protected from damage claims for slander. Public charges or allegations may result in legal action being brought by those individuals. The board values constructive community comments and suggestions. It welcomes your participation in the democratic process.
Thank you. Mr. Gillespie?
Good evening, Mr. Coles, Executive Cabinet, and board members. I'm actually here to give a charter update. The student that would have done this is currently working a booth at our back to school night, so there is one more student. I think we're always students. So just talking about some of the things that we have going on at Options for Youth. We're wrapping up our first 2 sports. Unfortunately for football, it ends our 7-year undefeated streak. We will not be the champions this year, but our softball team is in second. We're hoping that they do well next Friday at the championships. Our esports program starts on the 21st of October, and boys and girls soccer is up next. We've had a ton of field trips in September and October. We went a crime scene investigation trip to Las Vegas, Southern California college tour, a science trip to Edwards Air Force Base. Like I said, we have multiple back-to-school nights. The last one was tonight at our Victor 1 campus. Our college week was October 10th to October 14th. We had a candidate forum on October 11th where we had a couple of the board members come out and answer some questions. We have a college tour on October 14th as well to CSU Northridge and Antelope Valley College. Purple easel painting activity the week of, was actually this week, the 17th to the 21st. And last night we were at the Ontario Reign hockey field trip. Upcoming events, we have a community cleanup day on October 22nd. We have students going up to a farm in Northern California, 10:25 to 11:04. Our fall dance, the theme is Nevermore, honoring Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven, on October 27th. And then finally our senior socials on the 28th, where all of our graduates come and they get their cap and gowns, and we work through all that. So that's kind of our October. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gillespie, for letting us know what's going on at our partner school. Chanel Adams.
Hello, I'm Chanel Adams. Thank you. And representing the NAACP. The NAACP would like to thank you's last board meeting for accepting and welcoming us to the meeting. As the newly appointed education chair, I want you to know that I am here. I am going to be here for the duration. And the NAACP is concerned, as the community is, about cultural diversity and differences. And we want you to know that we want to be a part of the solution. So whatever decisions you make, we're here, we're willing, and we would like to have the opportunity in the future to sit down and discuss how we can work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chanel. That concludes, and I only have 2, right?
Wow.
So we are we're done with the public comments. So we will move on to our VVTA report. Mike.
All right, good evening, board. My name is Mike Mayo. I'm Victor Valley Teachers Association president. And it's been an interesting week back. I originally liked to have some comments that are planned out, but a lot of the stuff that happened was today. I had several meetings today, and actually yesterday I spoke with Debbie Deal, Today I spoke with Rebecca Cook. Thank you for coming out. She actually came out to Silverado herself. That was great. First time I actually met her officially. That was very nice. And she had some, and she could at least provide me with some information in regards to like LCAP and where we're kind of going with that. I appreciate that. I spoke with Ramoni. Spoken with her briefly on the phone. It was nice. We had a longer meeting today. One thing that we forgot to do in the meeting was calendar some more dates. And so if you want to stick around towards the end, we can calendar dates again like we tried to do last time. Then I also spoke with Kevin Lloyd. He later showed up in the meeting. That was very helpful. I appreciated that. He gave us some important information. Last time I was up here, I had said that we were looking for information regarding Goodwill Education Center, and he did not let me down. He had a lot of great information, very fast answers. It was wonderful. One of my favorite meetings today, though, was with my very own principal, Heather Conkle, because it was great because the meeting, it lasted like 2 or 2.5 minutes, but it was great because we got stuff done like immediately. It was wonderful. All right, let me go ahead and tell you some of the things that are going on. Jared, he's not here tonight, otherwise he'd probably say this himself, but he is very happy to see that we have sunshine proposals. They're moving forward, and we're looking forward to good negotiation sessions. Safety. I did discuss some safety with Dr. Yee and some others because I have had some issues with members coming to me and saying that, we had some things happen at different campuses, and so just going to put it under an umbrella that I think some of those issues might already be addressed in our CSSPs that we have at the sites. We have those. I'm just wondering if we have how easy the access is for our membership to see that, because they're coming to me asking, hey, so what are we supposed to do in this situation? Have you spoken to an administrator at the site to make that determination? What was done, what was said? And so it would be nice if we had, if some of that stuff could be a little bit clearer at the sites. Because we know safety is a big issue. Again, another thank you to Dr. Yee, and again, just today, she was telling us that Michael Williford, I believe, is going to be doing a security task force, and VVTA is going to have a seat at the table. And so, unfortunately, I don't have the rest of my e-board here except for Amanda, and so I'm going to be texting them, and I'll get back to you about that too. So sorry, I'm going to keep you busy, Dr. Yee. And then AHS, we've had some of the members who are still frustrated with the sizes. I have spoken with Mr. Coles about this. I've spoken with Dr. Rubalcaba about this. And I have been told that by second semester, that's going to be straightened out. And honestly, if you try to make those changes right now, I agree, it's probably not a good idea. Structurally, it's going to be a huge mess. And I think in the end, I think it's better for the students and for the staff to just kind of start a little bit fresher with the new semester. So once we come back to the second semester, hopefully that really is all resolved. And thank you again for getting back to me. We are really actually pretty glad, and this is the conversation I had with Principal Conkle today, in regards to trying to deal with the verification survey. If you recall that, we need that all taken care of. It has to do with our CalPads. It's extremely important. I mean, that's a lot of money. And I understand why it's hard to you kind of lose an incentive sometimes when you don't have to provide that documentation to get the free reduced lunch. Instead, if you're automatically getting it, it's harder to get that motivation to actually fill out the forms. And so we know that we have more students out there that are coming from families that are disadvantaged, and we want them to take advantage of that. And so VVTA is very open to helping you. And that's the conversation that I had with Heather Conkle, and hopefully other plans are being made at other sites. I know that some plans are being made at those sites, and I'm glad to see that because it just works better for everybody. All right. Skip that part. Yeah, it's not too important. All right. I think I'm pretty much done for tonight. Let's just keep it short and sweet. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you, Mike. The CSEA report, is that Richard? Or
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to make it this evening. There's no report.
there's no CSEA report? Okay. All right, so we're going to be doing things a little bit different today. If you've looked at the agenda, There are a lot of items on the consent agenda. So we're going to be approving most of the things through a consent agenda. Every board member has had an opportunity to review it and to request that anything can be pulled. So if a board member requests that it be pulled from the consent calendar, it will be pulled. So there's no objections to these. Okay, so the consent items, item 7.1, the approval of the consent agenda items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion at all? Okay, we will. I'm wondering if we could pull, I hate to say this, but could we pull 7.4 and 7.5 and vote on those separately so that Mr. Singer will have an opportunity to vote on the consent item?
So moved.
Yeah, he can actually, yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Second.
That's fine, second.
All in favor of pulling
Aye.
7.4 and?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Nay. Okay, no one's opposed. Okay, so,
So now I make a motion that we approve 7.1 through 7.18 without the 7.
4 and 7.5.
4 and 5.
okay. I'll second
So
it.
moved. Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so the consent items pass.
So I'll now make a motion to approve 7.4 and 7.5.
7.4 and 7.5.
So moved.
Which
Do we have to do those
We
individually?
can vote
Second.
those separate, then vote on the consent.
Yeah, you pulled them, you pulled them, so you can vote on, the motion's on the table for 7.4, 7.5, that's fine.
Okay,
All right, so we'll
you
vote on it.
seconded it?
Second, yeah.
Okay. Discussion? All right, so 7.4 and 7.5, Mr. Singer, you won't vote on these. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. All right, so we have two action items today. Item 8.1, a contract with Informed K through 12, and that is, I believe, Mrs. Deal.
Thank you so much. So we're excited to expand our electronic pre-fillable form capability throughout the district. This is a contract that, provides for that service, and it does go over a 3-year period of time. And so essentially what it does is it takes those manual forms that we have all over the district for business, for HR, for workers' comp, some of the schools for ASB and so on. It makes those into electronic forms and has a backdrop that is a workflow system that goes to the appropriate approvers. And so we're excited that, a lot of the front-end work has been done throughout the district, and we have tested some of these forms, and we're ready to launch the next 5 forms, and we're asking for approval this evening to go up to 100 forms. I know we have more than that, but that's going to be our goal for this fiscal year. So we're really excited, to automate this process, and we ask for your approval on that this evening. Thank you.
Are there any board member questions of
No.
Mrs. Deal?
Already asked.
I think
Okay.
that's great.
So moved.
We got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that measure passes. Item 8.2, our contract with Frontline. Is this, that's you as well?
That's
Okay.
me again. Thank you.
So moved. Or
Okay.
you gonna talk
So
about it?
we'll
and
take a
then-
motion
Well,
first.
if there was a question.
Do you want to second it?
Second, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Now
Any
discussion.
now we'll have discussion. Yeah.
Okay. So once again, this is a vendor that we have already under contract, and we use for IT, and it does some of our inventory services, which we can expand on. This is a separate module that is really around electronic timekeeping and attendance. We have some federal requirements and other legal requirements to keep certain records, timekeeping for staff that work on those projects. Primarily for charter school oversight, we must keep track of our time as teams and all of the costs that we incur to collect our oversight fees. In addition to that, we have several positions that are federally funded or partially funded, and those have a requirement around them to keep track. So instead of using spreadsheets and paper timesheets, this is an exciting opportunity for us to upgrade our system and be able to do this electronically. So once again, a vendor that we've already worked with, we've had great success with, and we look forward to your approval for this contract this evening. Thank you.
Any board member questions of Mrs. Deal on item 8.2?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that measure passes. All right. We're moving on to item 9.1, which is readmissions. Mr. Singer, you also will not vote on these. So our readmissions, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 9.2 are stipulated expulsions. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
I guess I'll second it. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay. For the reason we discussed in closed session.
Okay. So, one nay. The measure passes. Item 10.1, conference requests.
And these are just for discussion if we want to
Yeah.
pull them and discuss.
Item in 10.2, educational study trip requests. 10.3, our LCSSP grant update. And is that you, Dr.
That
Yee?
is me.
All right.
Good evening again. Just wanted to provide you an update with this grant. Back in 2020, we actually went and applied for the grant and was very successful and received the grant. The grant is actually for about almost $1.6 million, and with the 20%, matching, it ended up being about $2.1 million. And just wanted to kind of provide an update on what we're doing with the grant and where we are with the expenditures and potentially a little leftover money that we're looking at kind of making sure that we spend. So the grant is really used for school climate and really the culture. So some of the things that we've used the grant for is really to support, remember we have the District FEL, Family Engagement Liaison, so that supports that. We also have the Foster Youth and Homeless Youth Counselor, that supports that. We also have instructional materials and supplies and things like that just to help our families. That supports it, and our site as well too. And then we also have just extra duties, for staff to kind of support that work. So the money is definitely being spent and spent well. The other position that came out of it is actually the CWA. We call it the data coordinator, but we changed it to the research assessment evaluation coordinator, which Dr. Kronk is in. That is also being funded out of this. So, and when the board had approved the coordinator of CWA, we have the flexibility also, because it really aligns really well with the LCSSP grant, to actually take that and be funding that position from there. The grant is a 4-year grant. It does sunset in December of the following year. We've spent all the grant. We're thinking at the end of the year, we're gonna have about $400,000 left. Right now, I'm working with our team to kind of see, based on our data, how we're gonna use the remainder of it. Really supporting the sites is kind of what we're looking at. So just wanted to give you kind of a quick update of where we are with that, and we're gonna go after that grant again, by the way. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yee. Okay. We have our staff reports, so let's go to our business services division.
I have so many things to share. I'm very excited. First of all, our arts and music grant that goes over 4 years has been funded by CDE to almost $7 million. So we're really excited about that. In addition to that, I was checking just today, because on the vote for November, 8th, is an arts and music piece that's funded outside of Prop 98. And it appears at this time that there's no opposition collectively to that. So we're really hoping that that passes, so everybody please vote for arts and music. That will be ongoing funding forever, so not just a 4-year grant, so really excited about that.
Debbie, does that take funds from the general fund to move specifically for arts, or is it, 'cause when I read it, I wasn't understanding if it was additional funds for that.
So what happens right now with the state budget is about 38 cents on the dollar comes to education in K-14. So this funding would come outside of that, so it would not impact our current funding levels, but would come out of other sections of the state's general fund. So it's outside of Prop 98 is that 38% roughly, so yes. So, good question, great question. I also want to piggyback on one of the comments this evening. It's about those free and reduced alternative forms. Now that we have universal meals, it is a little bit harder to collect those forms. And I want everybody to understand that not only funds our general fund, it's our primary funding source, but it also funds all of our schools with all of our federal grants, our Title I. A lot of grants that you hear about this evening are federal grants. And those forms actually go, and that's how that is scored for funding. In addition to that, our great E-rate partnership with the federal government is 85% funded, and that also is based on these forms. So I really encourage our school leaders and our parents throughout our community to fill out the form. Just fill it out, get it into us before October 31st so that the district can maximize the funding that goes into our school classrooms. We're really looking for those efforts, especially now that we have universal meals and parents think, well, we don't have to fill out the forms, but they're really utilized for other purposes. So I'm going to put a shout out for that. Next, I want to thank Shanti and the accounting team for all of their efforts in pushing out the retro pay is done. And it will be recorded at the end of the month and for certificated for the November 1 payroll. So that was a great effort. It really took a lot of time. And I want to say a special thank you to the team for that. And then finally, a special thank you to the M&O team for their efforts to do deep cleaning projects throughout our district. We're moving through our school sites and we are doing the deep cleaning throughout our schools on those break times, and we're getting to everything. So thank you everyone for all your hard work. I really appreciate everything that they do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie. We'll move on to Educational Services Division. Dr. Yee.
All right, good evening, Board of Trustees and everyone here. I want to just welcome everyone back and hope you all had a great October break. And like Mr. Cole says, what a treat. You know, not too many districts have it, so it's kind of nice to be able to get some rest and relax a little bit. So I hope everyone had a good October break. I wanted to thank the board tonight. Thank you for approving the resolution for Native American Heritage Month. I know it's in November. I think just recognizing the diversity and the cultures of different, people is very important, and the contributions that they make to our nation. So thank you for doing that. Also at services, we're proud to announce that we have all the dates for our equity task force, and we would love to welcome Patrick. I know he can't join us for next week meeting, but we look forward to seeing you in December. Really continuing that work aligns really well with the things that we're doing with the OCR agreement. Equity is the work of everyone. And, sometimes we spend time talking about it, but the purpose of the equity task force is to put actions in place. Talk is talk, but we need to make sure that what we do speaks to the things that we truly believe in when it comes to supporting our students and providing them equal opportunities. So I look forward to the committee. It's going to be wonderful. We're looking forward to a great plan for our district. In addition, I wanted to just thank the math teachers actually this evening. So for all of our math teachers out there, they have been in trainings since school started. We actually are in Carnegie training. We've had Math Integrated 1, 2, and 3 was today. They all received 2 days of training, really looking at the Carnegie curriculum. There's some new things within that curriculum that they are just, just a great day of training. And then also to Mathia, which is part of the skills component, the online component of it as well. Whatever we can do to support our teachers in the classroom is what we're here to do. So I just wanted to thank our math teachers out there for the great work that they're doing to support our students. I understand math is very difficult. I was an English teacher, and as much as I know how challenging it was when I was growing up, I can only imagine how much more challenging it is now with all the new concepts and so forth and the way that we are teaching math and learning the content. So thank you, math teachers out there. Continue doing a fabulous job. And again, that's my comments for this evening, so thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yee. We'll move on to our Human Resources Division, Dr. Rupakala.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Just one thing to share. As was mentioned earlier, it's great to have our student representatives come over, because that's why we're here, to celebrate our students. Well, it's equally important to recognize and celebrate our employees. So the CUBE Awards are opening up. If you see someone that's going above and beyond their regular call of duty, please nominate them and celebrate our employees who support our students, right? So we have some great people doing amazing things every day to support the teaching and learning in the classroom. So just wanted to share with the community. Richard will be sending out an email and on behalf of HR, and we look forward to celebrating our employees as well. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Rupakaba. Legislation, Mr. Coles, Mrs. Dew.
Well, there's, most of our people are now running around trying to get reelected, so they're knocking on doors and yelling out and putting up signs and what have you. So I did get a briefing this morning from the chamber. They talked about the water, the drought for 3 years. Water is considered October to October, and we have a 100% drought in California and Nevada. So, but we do have water, and our area is only 145 miles, so we're called the Mojave Water Agency, and what they do is generally there's 29 other people that get water out of that aqueduct, whatever that is. And we've only purchased it in 1975, but right now our water is good. The governor just passed a bill to cut down on how much water we get from 55 to 50, and it goes each year. They're going to diminish that. So that was one of the things they talked about. And then all the rest of the guys are Obanoti, Wilk, Paul Cook, and what's the other guy name? Smitty. Yeah, Smitty. And I think that's it, yeah. Those guys kind of spoke about what they're doing to help us with the water and everything else that we need to do. So basically, that's it. As you know, we had about 5,000 bills that came through, but only about 1,100 of them passed through the state and the federal government as well. There was thousands of bills, but only a few of them passed. But everybody's waiting until November 8th to see who's in office. I know that they know there's going to be a real change with who we have in the Assembly and the Senate, who runs Los Angeles, one of our biggest cities. And everybody is kind of waiting to see what happens. And they got people that know the business of what's happening with legislation. And I'll be going up there, flying up there all next year for my legislative things I do, just because they need balance. And they know they're going to have a whole complete change of who's going to be there. So it's going to be very exciting to see what kind of change we have. Right now, even in our area, with our 33 districts, we've got 12 new superintendents, including ours, 12 new people. And we also are going to have a lot of new board members as well. So we're getting ready for that through the county. That's what's happening.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Dew. Mr. Barrios.
Okay. Well, firstly, say it was great to see as many students come here to speak, all right? Because, we've had a hit and miss for a while, but this is the most we've had in a long time. And it's kind of cool to hear what they have to say and that. And they're really good speakers, much better than I am, that's for sure. But, okay, now, on a lesser, sadder note, okay, it's been a rough week for our schools here. We had Victor Valley lost a student this week, okay, and Adelanto had 2 teachers who were seriously injured in accidents. I won't say car accidents because one was a motorcycle, but the 2 that were seriously injured, they're doing better, but they're still, in need of our thoughts and prayers, okay, because they got some healing to do. And then on a more positive note, all right, our sports in the district are all doing pretty well, all right, and topper is, okay, you've got Adelanto and Silverado playing for the possible league championship this week, so that's a big deal. But even more important, Victor Valley won the Axe again last Friday.
Oh yeah.
So,
Do you know that's the 99th year?
Yes,
the
it was.
next time we do it, it's 100 years.
and I know I wasn't here to see the first game, all right, so.
No, I wasn't here either. I mean,
No, but it was really good, and I'd like to congratulate
99th
the
year.
principal
It's 99th year.
and the players and the coaching staff, because it takes everybody to win that game. As you found out, it came down to the last minute, all right, and I've seen it come down to the last second, and we won that one too, by the way. But if you were an assistant principal last year, so as a principal, it still has a little bit more effect on these people that wow, and I'm sure the coach is thinking, he was thinking, just like the key game in Hesperia. No, this is no key game like Hesperia. This is a war. And you talk to anybody that
It's been that for
anybody that went to Victor Valley High
100
School
years.
before,
Almost
the
100.
80s, that was the game. No
Yeah.
bell game, none of this other
None of
stuff.
that
It was
other
the
stuff,
Axe
yeah.
game. And they come to that game, you'll see more gray hair at that game than you were at a.
That's the battle
anyway,
game.
and that's it. Thanks, guys.
Okay. I guess I'm up next. I have very few comments. I just want to express my condolences to the families of our student, and also, of course, to our teachers who are suffering right now and trying to recover. And I wish them a speedy recovery. And I think that's all I have. So we'll go to Mrs. Dew.
I just want to echo what he just said. Condolences to our student and for the teachers. And thank the students that came tonight. I really like to see that, see the students, because that's my big deal. I know that there was a couple of us that went to HAKU, which is the Hispanic conference that was down in San Diego. Look for what they're doing with at the federal level and the state level of how we can help our students in our school. And this morning, I heard from the water district and all the rest of the people. And tomorrow, there's supposed to be a briefing on the state of the union for the college, Victor Valley College. So if anybody wants to go there, make sure, I think it starts at 9, isn't it?
Yeah, 9.
9 o'clock, right, 9 o'clock. I don't know what building it's in. Probably in the, I don't know, it might be the gym, unless they do it in the main building. But anyway, that's gonna happen tomorrow. And we're very connected to them, so we like to know what's going on so our kids can be prepared when they get ready to go to Victor Valley High School. When I was down at Haku, something very interesting happened. I thought I was in a meeting, right, in the right building. Well, guess what? I ended up at something called SwitchCon. Has anybody ever heard of that? They even put a ban on me and said, "Oh yeah, come on in. And what game are you playing?"
You look
I
like a
said,
gamer.
Yeah, I'm
You
going,
look like a gamer.
What game? And I went through this VIP area, and I mean, they were just ushering me in and saying, "Oh, come on in. Are you a sponsor? Are you this and that?" But it had to do with SwitchCon, and it's the first time they've been back down at SwitchCon. And all these kids are kind of looking at me, thinking I was part of the game.
Yeah, the truth
And
comes
I
out.
said,
The truth comes out.
wow, it was really a trip. I mean, it was like, purple hair, and I think the only reason they let me come in, you're in that too? Your little brother, okay. Anyway, I think the reason they had me come in is because I had my tennis shoes on. And they just thought I was part of the VIP. Took me right through there. I went, whoa, okay. But anyway, I've never heard of it. But my son says, oh, Mom, that's something that you would like. And I'm going, oh, no, I don't think so. But it was really interesting what kids are doing today. So we got to keep up with what they're doing so we can be on top of what's happening with all our babies. Yeah. Okay. It was funny. Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Day. Ms. Edmiston?
Well, I was at HACO as well, and it was fun to see Barbara there.
But did you go to the SwitchCon?
And they didn't invite me.
They didn't invite us. We weren't invited.
I did not have tennis shoes.
I didn't have one.
Darn it. But one of the things I learned is there's a university in Southern California near San Diego, and I shared that with Carl. They are putting out speech therapists. They need to have a place for their interns. So I'm hoping really that we can jump on that and get their SLPs to come to us. Most of it is virtual, so they're learning online. They're all over the state, all over the Southland, so it could be very easy for us to access them. So I'm hopeful for that. I felt like that was my big golden nugget. But I had many takeaways from there. I was very excited. My condolences to the family at Victor and Chris. I hope you'll let us know how we can help. If you let Carl know, he'll pass on to us, but I definitely would like to send condolences to the family. And then Ebony, if you have a moment to come by so I could talk about your two teachers, just a moment, I'd appreciate that. My fourth grade students today, our whole campus took part in the California Shakeout, and it was so fun to tell them that every student in California is practicing how to be safe if there's an earthquake at school. So they were very enthused to do it. They got under their desks, they covered their head, they covered their back, they stayed safe. Then we went out onto the playground, we took roll, we practiced taking out the tents and the latrines and search and rescue, checked every room, make sure everyone was safe. It was just a really good positive experience. But it did make me think, I wonder if we could get, when you have a chance, a schedule of when our campuses do any kind of drills, whether it's fire or lockdown or earthquake drills, so we know that the big brothers and sisters of my students are protected as well. Okay. And then Ebony and Heather, I don't know what to say about this big game on Friday. I'm just hoping for a tie, and I hope it's a wonderful game.
No, that don't work, no.
That's what I'm hoping for, and I hope everyone has fun and gets a chance to take advantage of all the fall festival activities or Halloween or whatever you're doing, and that you're safe, and that you have your parents inspect your candy and make sure it's safe. And I appreciate everyone being here. I like this new format. I'm open to try new things, and this was really an interesting change for us. And thank everyone for coming. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr.
Oh,
Singer.
and thank you for the book.
Oh, you're welcome.
I like historical stuff, so she got me this Queen Elizabeth, the second. An interesting note, I don't mean to cut anybody off, but a person passed away who went to school with me, and her mom was the very first Hispanic that graduated at Victor Valley High School. Her name was Aurora, and she graduated with me in 1966, but she was one of the families that I wrote about. But her mom was the first Hispanic that graduated. Barbara Banks was the first Afro-American that graduated from Victor Valley High School. It's amazing how all the historical things. She graduated in 1927 from the high school. So there's a lot of historical stuff that as we go through our world, that people need to know what our history was and how it happened and when it happened. Yeah. It happened this week.
No,
Mr. Singer.
I was very, very interested in that, so thank you. Okay.
It's really interesting.
First of all, condolences to the two Adelanto teachers. I hope that they get better. My dad's had a motorcycle for 20 plus years and been in 3 accidents, and it's really scary. So, and car accidents, they are very scary. I hope that they get better quickly and can get back to their classrooms and keep teaching their students. Condolences to the family of the student from Victor. He was in one of my dad's classes, so it was, it was just a rough day. It's been a rough week. But condolences to that family, and any way that we can help the ASB from Victor, anything, any way that we can help, let us know. Students, thank you, everybody from all the schools, because it's, it's not just my job to come up here and, put that out there, but all of you guys, if you have issues, if you have problems, if you need things discussed in any other way than just public comments, let me know. I will do it. I will put it out there for you guys. I'm here for everybody in the district, students' benefit. Hey, you, stand up. Nope. Yep, stand up.
Oh, Mom. Oh, bad arm.
I don't know that I've ever been more, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to do it. I've ever been more proud of this person in my entire life. She decided to go take me and my siblings and my dad to a vacation that she went on when she was a young child. And, we're adventurous. She planned a horseback trail ride, and it was fun. And she kept picking a fight with her horse, kept picking and kept picking. Within 100 yards, he just decided to stop. She was like, come on, come on. And she'd been battling. She was going at it all day. And he just decided to take off. He just did not want her on his back anymore, and she ended up on the floor in the middle of the field. And it scared me, like, to the depths of my soul. I thought that she had been knocked out right there in the middle of that field. But she got up, she went to urgent care, they told her nothing was broken, and then they did, and then she's pretty sure she fractured her shoulder. But she showed up at work on Monday, she taught on Monday, 2 AVID periods and an ASB class, and we've gotten things done in all 3 of those classes this week. So. Last thing, thank you for inviting me to your team. Again, I will be there as much as I can, but crazy busy. So, yes, I'm glad that you invited me, and I will be as much of a part of it as I can be. Yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singer.
No problem.
All right, Mr. Coles.
First, again, same to echo everybody here. Condolences to our student at Victor Valley, and I wish our teachers speedy recovery at Adelanto. They've been in my thoughts and prayers. I'd also like to thank the board. I know taking a lot of items from action and putting them to consent requires a lot more reading and upfront work on your part, and I appreciate that, and our work, to make sure that you have all the information that you need before you vote. I'm also looking forward to have a couple of breakfasts set up with the VVTA leadership coming up in November, along with CSEA, and then we have a budget meeting, with them as well to kind of go over the budget and just make sure that this process is transparent. Get all the questions answered, and make sure it's a collaborative process. Also, to the NAACP, thank you for being here. Really value the partnership. And, on top of that, Penny had sent us over something that we're submitted to a conference out in Washington, D.C. that really would explore what we've done it with OCR. It says, look, this wasn't great, but how do we turn this into a positive learning lesson into a conference? So the transparency that's come from this, it's great, and it's something we're going to continue to learn from, but not just for us to learn, for others to learn as well. So also excited about, it's been mentioned here a few different times about, this concept of LMI. With the principals today about having it at the school sites, about this concept that, CSEA leadership, along with the VVTA leadership at the school sites, that they meet on a regular basis to kind of just talk about it, just to have conversations about how we can solve the concerns that may not be contractual, but just the concerns that come from others at the lowest level. And I appreciate both Tanya and Mike kind of agreeing that, you know, that's where it needs to start. And the more that we can get things solved at the school sites, you know, the better we're doing in building capacity of others. So wish everybody a safe Halloween, and until next time.
Thank you, Mr. Coles. Do we need to go to return to closed session again? Okay. All right, so at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We're closed at 7:45.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.